Hey, thanks for watching Donald Lowers Electrical Services. Um, so if you're looking, so if you have an older home, all right, if your home is built before 1960, okay, maybe, even in the 80s, you're gonna want an electrician for the longevity of your home, especially if it's been chopped up. Like if it's before 50, like 30s, 40s, 50s, you don't want multiple guys touching your electric. That's the worst thing you can have. When we go into a home, at least when I go into a home and I assess the house's electric, I'm looking for indications of what type of electricians are in there. And the more electricians you have, the more likely you're going to find someone doing some hack work. And as hack work ages, it becomes more dangerous. Hack work in the beginning, the day he does it, it's fine, it'll work. It doesn't mean it's safe, it'll work. And most likely it's going to work for a good amount of time before there's an issue. But as it ages, it becomes more dangerous. And depending what he did, it can get really bad. So if you have an older home, what you want to find is an electrician that's licensed, like a decent electrician, not a company. I understand companies will give you the guarantee and you feel all nice and warm inside because they sold you a line of crap. And that's all it is. It's marketing. They're gonna put a suit on, they're gonna give that envelope to you and that guarantee. They're guaranteeing a piece of shit. That's what they're guaranteeing. It's easy to guarantee junk. Okay, if I can guarantee, basically they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, we're going to put our name behind it, and we're going to give you the company's name, so when something happens, we're going to send another piece of shit out there to fix the first pieces of shit work. Okay, and that's what happens, though. And, I'm sorry that it comes, I'm sorry that I have to say this, but a residential outfit is different than a commercial outfit, okay? And this is what you can't do a business plan of a commercial company and think it's going to work in residential, and that's what people are doing. In a commercial atmosphere, you have a foreman, you have checks and balances. So if one guy's a knucklehead, there's another electrician to check his work and another electrician to check his work. And usually the screw-ups are caught and tossed, okay? And where do they toss them? You know it, onto the residential field. And what's scary about it is, in a residential job, you don't have 3 electricians going to your home. So the checks and balances aren't there. 9 times out of 10, they might send one guy, or they might send a guy and a helper. And the helper, you don't even know, or you might get a guy out of high school that doesn't even know how to do an electrical equation. All right, so I'm just stating what's out there, okay? So when you have an older home, you have to be hypercritical of who you allow to come into your home to do electrical work in. So I'm coming up on 20 years experience. It's not 20 yet, it's over 17. All right. My experience is that the licensed electrician that's still practicing his trade, that still puts on a tool belt, that has his own business, that has his own truck, he might have an apprentice, he might have like a couple guys, like a smaller company. Their guarantee is more based on referrals than it is marketing. Okay, marketing, you have to have a business plan, 6 trucks on the road, you have to have new clientele coming in at all times, because you're not going to get the referrals. You might get a couple here and there, but as soon as they've realized what you're doing, you're done. Like you have to have new customers constantly, and that's part of their marketing plan. They have to have advertising everywhere. The smaller companies usually rely on the quality of their work, and that gets their referrals. Word of mouth. A friend talks to a friend, and that's how you get into a neighborhood. And then the neighborhood sees that you're at their house, and the neighborhood talks, and over years you build up a really good reputation. It takes time. Okay, a good electrician, if he's going to stay in the trade, he'll build his business over his lifetime, not a period of a year. I've seen guys go from like 2 trucks to 10 trucks in like a year and a half. And I'm sorry, but there's not that many quality electricians out there for you to build that quickly. I'm not saying there are people I know that have grown a large business in 5 years, and I mean, these are like decent people, but they've also invested a lot of money into their business. They're paying their mechanics a good rate, and they're not hiring junk. They're hiring journeymen, ICC certified mechanics. They're actually filling their trucks with quality people. But it's rare. It's so rare in the residential part of the trade that it's scary. That's why I make these videos now, is because it's getting to the point where if someone doesn't tell it public, like I talk to homeowners and their jaw drops, and they don't have any idea of what's going on in the electrical trade. But they're out there hiring these guys, and they're like, oh, we didn't have a clue until something happens, and then all of a sudden they get informed, and then they're an educated homeowner. Well, what if we could educate the homeowner before that vital mistake happens? Because some of those mistakes aren't something that you can just fix. Some of them cause damage, and that's the problem. So I wanted to come out here and just, if you're gonna hire an electrician, just be weary of the smile, the suit, the envelope, the marketing, reviews even now are tainted because you can pay for reviews, or there's ways to get reviews on your website that aren't organic. I try to stay organic as much as possible. I want a real reputation that builds character over time, and it's hard to do, but that's what I chose that a while ago. I'm not in this for the business aspect of it. I'm in it to be a tradesman, a craftsmanship. I truly love what I do. I did a real apprenticeship underneath another master electrician that actually taught me the ways of being a master electrician. I didn't just get thrown onto a job site and told to fend for myself. I took the longer way, and it took me 4 or 5 years underneath a master to get ready for my test, and then I went and took my master's exam, and then I passed it. There are electricians out there that have followed the same path, but there's also a lot that haven't, and the ones that haven't, they're the ones you need not hire. Be weary of them, because they're the ones that, they're just putting people in danger. Half of them don't even know it, and their ego's so bent on how good they are, they won't even question. So I'll give you an example. We had 5 electricians work for us over the summer, and we ran into a problem at one of our houses that we were rewiring, and the second floor wasn't getting power, and I knew what mechanic was working where. So I went up to each one, hey, did you do this? And one of the mechanics, who said he was a mechanic, he goes, my work is fine, I did nothing wrong. That's the number one indication that he's not a mechanic. A true master mechanic will check his work before he opens his big fat mouth. All right, because a master mechanic usually is humble about the fact that there could be a mistake, and let's check the feed, check your switch leg, check your neutrals, check everything, okay? And before you open your mouth, check your own work, okay? A not so mechanically inclined mechanic, or a hack, or someone who lies and says they're a mechanic when they're not, they're ego driven. So they need to pump themselves up that they're this good and that good and blah, 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 that they don't realize that they're showing their hand. They're showing that they're really not that good of a mechanic. That's from personal experience. And that's all my videos are about, are personal experience about the electrical trade that I try to get out there on my channel. And sometimes it works, sometimes I can't get it out. Either I'm upset about something, I'm pissed off, or I just don't feel like making a video. But I'll keep making them. If you like them, awesome. If not, well, change the channel. I don't know what to tell you there. But thanks for watching. Take care.